That's not Liberty County School Board Resolution 82, 2025, 74. We're going to move the prayer and pledge, prayer about the pledge, prayer about the judge.
Right, Heavenly Father, thank you, God, for the opportunity to be here tonight. Father, we pray, God, as we handle the month's business of our school board. Pray, God, that you help us to do it with open hearts and minds. And Father, pray that we conduct ourselves in ways always pleasing to you. Father, pray for our students, our staff, our parents. Father, pray for safety in our schools. And Father, pray as we finish up the year that we just finish strong. We pray, God, for a safe spring break next week. And I pray you bring us safely back after school. We love you and thank you in Jesus' name. James Smith and Lieutenant Taylor come to the podium, and they've got just a quick, brief presentation.
Y'all know me. I'm Diana with the Liberty's Tobacco Program, and this is Lieutenant Aaron Taylor with the Army National Guard, and he's going to show you a little bit about a program that I would like to do in the school.
Hey everyone, good evening. My name is Lieutenant Taylor, and I work for the Florida National Guard's Counter-Drug Program. A lot of people don't know that the Florida National Guard actually does drug prevention with youth in communities all over the state. We have a version of me, equivalent of me, in big cities in Florida like Jacksonville, Miami, Tampa, Orlando. But we have a special program that we're trying to start back up here called the Night Vision Program. So the Night Vision Program is a Florida standards-based program, so it covers the Florida standards for drug education that focuses on educating youth about the dangers of substance abuse. And I say substance abuse because generally speaking, people think of, counter drugs, they think of things like opioids, marijuana, things like that. But we do talk about those things. However, we talk also about the dangers of alcohol and tobacco. So it's a pretty expansive program, and the cool part about it, it's I can keep it short and sweet. We typically go about an hour and a half in every school we go present in, but it's very customizable to the needs of your community. So I've done this program before in communities that are struggling more with issues around like alcohol and tobacco, and so I'll focus more. So it's a very cool interactive curriculum. I bring props. I talk about the different dangers of substance abuse. It's a chance for me to interact with kids in a fun and engaging way. However, it does hit home the seriousness of some of these issues. And it's free. It's available to communities all over the state. I'm the OIC for Northwest Florida, so I'm based out of Tallahassee, but Liberty County is very much in my region, and I've been thinking about coming out and meet you guys for a while, just kind of sharing a little bit about what this program was. Like I said, it's called Night Vision. It'll hit all your Florida standards that you have, and I'm told that recently you guys passed some policies around tobacco use in the county, so they'll definitely cover that as well. It's a great program. If I get the chance to present in your schools, I'd love to, but I just wanted to come today and talk to you guys and present it for your consideration. I've got some flyers for the program that I can leave with somebody at the back, or I don't know, somebody else use it, or even with Jamie here, that you guys can look at. And my contact information, or my supervisor's contact information is on there, so you can reach out to her. And Jamie's got my number as well if you guys have any questions about it. So I'd love to hear back from you guys. I'd love to be able to present it in some of the schools that you have here in Liberty County, whether it be the high school, middle school. It's catered towards kids from 4th grade all the way up to 12th grade. And we also work with college age students as well. So we have I know you guys have like an adult learning academy here that it's also suitable for them as well. So we can kind of plug and play with it, but it's a great program, and I think you guys would benefit a lot from it. We'd love to kind of share it. So if there's something you're interested in, thank you for your consideration. I hope you're next.
Next, we run along, I will free public comment. We didn't have anything. I'm looking forward to the thing.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Peter. Tomorrow is PAT Day in the legislature. I'll be joining another Panhandle Superintendent's lobby. Most of the day we've been doing this the last few years. It's extremely successful. successful and kind of a good, corporate approach to our legislative budget requests that we ask. We do have 2 appropriation requests, I think I shared, a couple of y'all. In the House, they do something called a House form that is attaches your request to a form number, and that's how that gets, attached to a bill. And so we, typically, that sometimes happens after, session starts. We were able to get those done before. So House Form 3460 is the school bus, and then, House Form 3461 is the track restoration. And so, if you would like, and the Senate does not, they don't assign the form numbers, so that's why it don't have. So that's what we're gonna do. I want to encourage you, if you've never lobbied, I know some of y'all have, lobbying is a fancy word for, begging. It's nothing to do with it. Anybody can do it. Especially they love to see former school board members who come in and can, beg the best of them. You just have to try to convince them to see things your way. And I have a lot of talking points when we did the legislative, delegation meeting. I gave y'all some handouts. If you misplaced that, it don't matter. I can give you another one. It's good talking points for how responsible we've been in the past. And y'all have got a really bad migraine, so I'm trying to make this quick. It's probably not now. But anyway, that's far. If you want those, if you need another handout, I'll give those. You can just make an appointment. It's better to make an appointment so they know you're coming. And then that way you can, you got some time rather than popping in their office. So they have appointments all day long. They're not in the chambers, meeting. Football field house update work continues. I go there every day. I am pushing. They have a bunch of crews out there today. It's just slower than I'd like to see. But they still assure me they'll be done. So it's slow. Softball field house update. Kevin's trying to secure with a new guy on the bleacher structure that we're doing. Haven't got it yet. And we talked. Yes, sir. When do we expect it? That's a good question. He was hoping to get it today. Okay. We feel very confident. We did a conference call, Kevin and I, with him, and Kyle Rogers. We feel very confident that we've got enough money left over. Katie sent y'all some numbers this week, so we're very confident we can get that done. But it's just again, another slower thing. It's a different guy, a different way of doing it. So. He is gone.
Yes, sir. He said he told me that he was. I told him I needed about 5:30. And he was going to come home at lunch and try to get it to me. So, he's working. He's just one person, so he's got work.
I just want to make sure you feel good that it was going to pass.
Number 4, there's a vaping assembly, talking about the dangers of vaping at the high school on Friday. If you have an opportunity to come to those assemblies, I always try to let y'all know when those are. That's a good one to go to. Vaping is still just a systemic problem with youth. And we try to do everything we can to try to show them the dangers. I hate those things, and I tell them what to put in them, but I think they're just dangerous for kids and their development. Number 5, very thankful to Walpole School Board for buses. We're able to get, Kevin had a big hand in that, working with Stephanie Hoffines, finance director. I want to thank Russell Hughes, the superintendent over there. And just, I even hate to tell you, but we took them on a road trip, and they broke down. So,
Had 3 buses broke down today.
yeah. So one we think is probably just what you call it, went into regen mode.
The regen is smoking bad. It's regen mode. Other one, don't know that it's going to be towed by Walton County, believe it or not, broke down in Walton County.
Is this the same bus?
Yes.
2 of them, and one of them is the one we already had.
2 of them. Anyway, we hope it's just something minor. Just something minor. Those were route buses for them. So, anyway, I got Tim Davis. He's with one of them. Okay. I thought he was needing a number, credit card number for it too. It is having to be.
So Walton County towed the car to their shop at Freeport. was, it went back to Walton County, but then I don't believe Walton County.
But anyway, we're glad to have the bus. We'll get them hopefully running over this, just something fun. Spring breaks next week, March 17th, 1st. Number 7 breaks my heart, but tell you this, you probably know by now, Rob is leaving us, total principal. He has taken an administrative job with Florida Virtual. But that's just a big competitor now, Florida Virtual. They don't have to pay for insurance and buildings and all the things that we have to pay for, you know, they can boost salaries. His last day will be March 21st, which is Friday of spring break. So basically this Friday will be his last day, on campus. We have advertised the job today. Jeff got that out, after a pretty large discussion about, with our admin up here. Jeff's gonna take that, and I'll tell you, we didn't force that on him. He willingly, volunteers that I can do that. Of course, Jeff's been a principal before at Hosford, and, you was able to get told, so he's worked at both schools. I think that provides some incredible, leadership there. It provides some, stability, you know, somebody who knows the staff, they know him, and we already have working relationships with him. I've shared with a couple of y'all, it's hard to get certain positions this time of year, okay? We've been advertising for kindergarten teacher, K6, and there's just, we had one applicant and they don't meet none of the qualifications. It's also a difficult time to ask an administrator who might be interested in coming to our district to come, you know, lead your school at this time. So,
We're a month away from that.
yeah, we're a month away from state testing. That was the biggie, is to have stability there, coming into state testing. That's, you know, that's a huge accountability, measurement of our schools, and we just needed to have that in place. So Jeff is prepared to finish the semester. Like I say, we have advertised. If somebody that, you know, we felt good about, would come on now, then absolutely we'd be interested in having them. I would say just from 20+ years of experience, it doesn't happen that way. You'll probably have somebody that says, I'd rather finish my year. And I have a lot of respect for that says, I'm gonna finish the school year and maybe I'll be interested in some. So anyway, that's been advertised. So we'll go from there. Obviously Laura, myself, Mandy will be providing support. We do that. I don't know how much y'all know that, but we provide support for our principals when they need to be out. Danielle was out today, and then Stephanie wanted to leave to go to volleyball games, beach volleyball, and I was sponsored principal after lunch today. So we do that a lot.
Question is, I'm assuming this could be filled from within the district.
Could be, correct.
So has there been expression of any?
Had one come through today.
Okay, so.
Yeah, I fully expect we'll have some inside the park folks that would be interested.
No external at this time, just internal, is what we've got so far, as far as interest.
That was just a conversation. I don't think that anybody applied. And I wouldn't expect them to apply. It's a pretty, you know, it takes a little while to fill this application. I would imagine probably next day or two, you probably could see one. Yeah, but I did have somebody on staff to come in and talk to me today. So yeah, I fully expect. We had a visit today, Toller School from our Florida Teacher of the Year, Jamie Suarez from Fernando County. We were honored to have her. She visits all the districts. Florida Teacher of the Year gets a paid year off, to go visit, the school and be an ambassador for, education. So we were glad to host her today. She is a 6th grade math teacher. I tried to hire her before she left. And then Mandy tried to hire her. So, you know, she didn't want to leave home, her family, but, you know, so we offered on the table. So we're excited to have her visit with us today. Next meeting, I was going to try to get these on, this afternoon. And I'll just give you the quick version. We have funds that are coming, and I want y'all to approve some supplements. This will help with our non-instructional, some salaries we want to hit up here at the county office. Workforce development is just rolling in money. They always have been in pre-K. We've been buying a bunch of supplies with that money, and we wind up having a lot more left over, and I don't want, you know, it's almost to use it or lose it kind of thing. We have a great adult ed program up here, but there are other things that other districts are doing. Anybody who supports adult ed, from data, MIS, security, I paid something last year, Melanie started doing, prorating the electricity and things like that. So, I'll have those in, and what I want to do is give you the overall budget. We're not adding money to it, it's just we're just gonna reallocate some of that, and we can do that. And so I'll show you the whole thing before I ask you to approve those supplements. I'll show you the whole budget, everything for that, so you'll kind of see where that's coming from and where that's going. So I'll do that at our next meeting. Number 10, our instructional pay will be paid retroactively this week, now that the instructional contract's been ratified by the LEA, which is the teachers union. So that money is retroactive to July 1. And so Katie and her staff have worked tirelessly. They worked all weekend, and they'll have, and I appreciate that so much. And so they'll be, that money will be paid for our teachers going into spring break, as promised. So we're very excited about them. Appreciate Katie's always getting that. And then lastly, workshop today after the meeting, to discuss facility recognition. So for y'all requests. Mr. Chairman.
Move right on to item number 5. Need a motion to add emergency items 28 through C. Motion. Mr. Jody, second. Second, Mr. Stevens, any discussion? All in favor, say aye. Any opposed? Motion carried. Number 6. Need a motion to approve agenda for March 11th, 2025. Have a motion. Moore, second. All in favor, say aye. Any opposed? Motion carried. Next item, number 7. Need a motion to approve February 11th, 2025 regular meeting minutes. Have a motion. Mr. Secretary, second. Second, Ms. Jody, any discussion? All in favor, say aye. Any opposed? Motion carried. Moving right on to item 8. Need a motion to approve the following February 2025 financial report and transactions. Have a motion. Mr. Stevens, second. Ms. Moore, any discussion? All in favor, say aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Next item B, need a motion to approve updated personnel list for the 2024-25 school year. Have a motion. Mr. Stevens, second. Second, Ms. Jody, any discussion? All in favor, say aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. C, need a motion to approve March 2025 updated sub list. Have a motion. Motion, Ms. Jody, second. Ms. Stevens, any discussion? All in favor, say aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Next item D, need a motion to approve March 2025 update supplement list. Have a motion. Motion, Mr. Moore, second. Second, Stephen, any discussion? All in favor, say aye. Any opposed? Motion carried. Next item 9, need a motion to approve 2025-2026 school year letter of agreement to participate in Iowa Bank Group for the term of July 1st, 2025 to June 30th, 2026. Have a motion. Motion, Ms. Jody, second. Second, Secretary, any discussion?
Yeah, did we use this particular contract last year?
We've used it for the last 10 years.
Oh, okay, so it's been a long term.
Maybe longer.
All in favor, say aye. Any opposed? Motion carried. Next item B, need a motion to approve MOA, DSA, calibration for the University of Florida, Board of Trustees, and Liberty County School District for Florida Student Advantage Program. Have a motion. Motion, Moore, second. Second, Ms. Jody, any discussion?
Question on that, please. Sorry. So how does that work exactly with the University of Florida?
So they've subcontracted with, the company that's got all the background screenings and the hiring process. And we actually, yesterday, instead of one position, split it between 2 schools. And this is the pilot, so we're supposed to give them feedback. But, we're gonna wind up with 2 people, so 1 full-time each.
So it's tutoring, is that what?
Yeah, so they're gonna come in. The focus is 5th grade, reading and math.
Is it those that are delayed or behind or?
It could be, but this one, the plan is, so I think that is like, in total, there's little tables outside the classroom doors. So full groups of 4 to 5 kids, 4 to 5 kids, they may be working on just one skill that group needs. So they may not be a level 1 or 2 kids. Our kids who are tier 3 are already So this is just in addition to right before we go to test. This is new, and they ask for very honest feedback, and, you know, we will give that, but this is something that the university was trying to get going, and we submitted to be part of the problem.
We know who will be coming in.
Now, I asked that, I asked for the start date, they didn't have a start date yet, just that day, they don't have it. But, I'm going to assume that it's probably gonna be grad students or something like that. And I asked if they would send advertisements so I can share it locally, and they did not, so I'm assuming that they've gotten people. But, you know, they're supposed to use our curriculum, come in and I'll probably have them go in the classrooms for a couple of days, and kids want to get a feel for it. So, it could be great, it could be, you just got somebody for 9 weeks, and you just say this is.
All in favor, aye. All opposed, motion carries. Item C, the motion approved Panhandle period, schedule for PAC agreement, actuarial services, risk assessment, risk management, related activities of the contract effective April 1st, 2025 through June 30th, 2027. Have a motion?
Motion.
Steve, second. Second, Jody, any discussion? All in favor, say aye. Opposed, motion carries. Moving on, item D, need a motion to approve school calendar for 25-26 school year. The 11-month calendar has been combined with the regular instructional calendar. Have a motion? Motion Moore, second. Second, Singletary, any discussion?
That's fine. Go ahead.
Jody?
Go ahead, Mason.
Chairman.
Yes.
So question on the calendar as it pertains to, personal development days. I know that there are half days that, if I understood correctly, or read the calendar right, where there are professional development days associated with it, and then there are other half days where no professional development days may be associated with that. Just wondering, and y'all help me with my place because I'm new. Are we able to offer instruction based on like administrative instruction within schools, like broken out by, maybe teaching assignment or athletics or paraprofessionals? Is that something that we could look at as far as focusing on those days that aren't professional development days and having a day that we set aside and say, okay, we're going to train these people for this half day, however long that lasts, and have a calendar out where there's an expectation of that training? Is that?
Yeah, we pretty well control everything. PD days, those are pretty well set up. Got to get done. The partial days, we've got built in a lot of times, we leave those up. Faculty meetings that they can't all get to, and we will do some of that kind of stuff, or they'll usually be working on individual things, so yes, like the things that we do have some more structured things like that day that we've got in September, one we've got in January, one we've got in April. Those will be more whole groups. Built in this next year, we did build a post-planning day just because there's a lot of things that we wound up having to have people come in on a long time, like after graduation.
So that's already built in. So that's, we don't necessarily see that for like, because it's more itemization. And this is more the top level.
Beginning of, usually about a week before pre-planning, and we've all kind of worked on summer to make sure we're not overlapping. So like if you're coaching football and you're teaching social studies, make sure we try not to have social studies and a CPR at the same time. But usually about a week before pre-planning, we want to send out the master calendar, and then, you know, there'll be some things that'll go to individual people. So like if say you are coaching, then you need to get your CPR, and here's where you go. Everybody doesn't need to get that. Does that make sense?
It does. I understand. That sounds perfect, actually. I believe you weren't questioning you, but no, I appreciate that. That's good to know. So another question as far as like the spring break, where do the surrounding counties fall? Where does Chipola fall?
Chipola, yeah, that's the same one. So we have never lined up TCCs in Leon County. They've always, you know, even back when I was in high school, but Chipola, but since we're in Chipola's region, you line up with them. So that's pretty well set based on what
Gotcha, that makes sense. As far as like graduation days and possibilities of state tournaments,
there is not.
that is not. I'm,
That,
did they
that
give
was,
us-
yeah.
did they give us advance notice, like, does the state have this stuff set, or do we have to go to them and say, hey, can you please pick a day? Let us know, hey,
Just wants to talk about the state airport.
yeah.
They say, they say this is when it's gonna be, and like we can say, why don't you do this, but then they're all classification. Typically, it's just whenever it falls, that's why, and we find out that we've already made all these preparations, to do
So
everything.
we moved this year's to the very end of May, so that everything is over.
I got
And
you.
then we went ahead, like, see, next year's is the very end of May, so
I got you.
typically it's a window. But like, was it last year that we moved it based on what it was the year before? And it wound up being where we moved it to. So that was, it wasn't right.
Well, thank you for all the time, everybody put in, that's great, that's, thank you for answering.
So my question is graduation, I think I just answered it. Graduation, I know you tried to do that. Are we on the same day as Bloodstone? Do we check?
I think that they do Thursday. Wednesday, Thursday.
They do out like Thursday, Friday, and then rotate.
Okay, okay. I mean, there is a personal concern here when my granddaughter graduates. I don't want to be,
There have been years, it's not every.
Okay.
Um,
okay.
Pushing it
We,
this far
we,
back. I mean, if they kept theirs like third week, then we wouldn't ever line up, pushing it all the way to the month, honestly.
We pushed it to the end because of softball.
Right.
Typically, it's been that third week, and we used to do it, which is also Bloodstown House. So with that, we're clear on that. We are this year.
And we don't have a date on there, and I think I sent you this email for the actual like scholarship,
Senior award.
the senior award. We don't have a date
They'll
on
get
it
that
yet.
close.
Usually that's like a month. We're trying to keep everything within that week.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Thank you.
Is there anything that, other than like maybe a state tournament where they schedule last minute, you think y'all before they pop out, we need to be aware of that it's really outside of our control?
Not that.
In
Yeah.
Who all was this shared with? And I mean, who was your committee?
So we had 4 different drafts, and they went out to district advisory council for, each schools had a representative, they go out to schools for feedback, and then we modify that and feedback, and then they go out to vote
Cool. Okay,
to everybody.
that's good. That's good to know. Thank you.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Move on to emergency item, item A. Need a motion to approve DOE computer science teacher bonus from notification for program period of December 1st, 24 through December 31st, 25. Motion. Jody, second.
Second.
Steve, any discussion? All in favor, say aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Item B, need a motion to approve personnel consent items for March 2025, addition corrections. Motion.
Motion.
Steve, second. Cemetery, any discussion? All in favor, say aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Item C, need a motion to approve the 2024-25 instructional salary schedule. Have a motion? Motion, Mr. Moore, second.
Second.
Second, Ms. Jody, any discussion?
Wait, do we conduct, any type of review on what it would take, after the salary schedule is updated, the amount of dollars it would take to get our instructional staff to that state requested, I guess maybe is the term, instead of required, minimum? Do we run anything like that? It's kind of ahead of budget time. Could. That way, kind of be ahead of the curve, just to see what it would take. If,
Be careful what we.
Okay, that's all. They can do, we could say, this is what it costs, and this is what we want to do. Because that's good before the borrow process. And so there was I can't remember the last board meeting, you had somebody talking about that. And they had mentioned on the intent to return. I'd sure like to see a lot of that money go to build that that bottom up. And if you remember the first year, y'all all remember how much big a boost they got, was it $7,000, $8,000? Yeah, and so they can do that. It could have been done this year, you know, and so, yeah, we can get you those numbers. Absolutely get you those numbers, but it's still subject to party.
Right.
Understand.
Yep, but the number, actual number, what it would, yeah.
I got some also. You know, teachers is fine. Keep time instructional staff, you better be thinking about time instruction.
We are.
And we have, so, and I told y'all, we wanted to get past this, and then, well, we've got something prepared for you. We didn't get to FTE and look at what, because we never did the law students, so, but we still have that.
Is that something you can get with Katie on as far as the, maybe what you see your competition being in surrounding areas or counties and getting with her to see where we sit right now, where that amount of cost.
We don't have what surrounding counties are. I mean, we gotta pay them, we can keep them. I really don't care what county.
Well, we can try to do that, we look, I mean, we want to be, you know, there's. Yeah.
It matters greatly in the surrounding counties, and I'll tell you why. When I worked with the state, and I had it happen. I've talked to y'all 1,000 times about this. We had accountants, I was paying $24,000 a year. I was training them and getting them trained up, and they were actually accounting freaks. They were accounting freaks. They knew they had the knowledge base. Guess what was certain? Starts the whole time. So it's the same thing here. If you got, and most people don't want to drive 100 miles every day. So if these surrounding counties are paying $10,000 more, we need to know what they're paying.
Well, I agree with that.
That's where I'm going. That's what he's saying, Kevin, is because these people are not wanting to drive. That's gas. That's just taken out of their paycheck. So yes, we do need to know what surrounding counties are paying. We need competitive, try to be competitive. We have to.
We should lose, fine, non-instructional staff. We call them that. I'm calling that. I mean, they do.
The economy is playing into a lot of factors here. I understand that, and I get it. But we can't lose too much institutional knowledge in our school system. We just can't lose it. You lose it, and you're gonna have to start over. With nothing, basically, and I don't mean anything about, not saying about anybody, I'm just saying, you start over the base like that, nobody knows where the bodies are buried. Sorry, that's my time to use.
So Kevin, I mean, it sounds like you have some specific knowledge on what it would take to keep certain people. I mean, maybe we can use that as a basis, to an extent to determine what it would take to keep work with.
We'll make those, when we've done that. We've done that, so, we want to get all that, post, survey, which last month.
Yes.
Want to get past that, we're bleeding students still. And so, you know, we want to make sure before we've actually got a plan for non-instructional, we've already got. We got some on paper that we can go ahead, if we had to, but I'm not ready for that. I want to tweak it and make sure, because that becomes a recurring expense, as you well know. So that, you gotta be careful. All this stuff sounds good, but you gotta be able to pay for it. It's been, so, you know, we want to be competitive, yeah, we want to be competitive, you know, neighboring counties, but we also live within our means and make sure, you know, we want to take care of everybody. So we've got our instructor, you know, here's the thing, we got to take care of the instructional staff next year. You get back into that again, so, it's a puzzle, but I feel good about where we're at. We are bleeding students as a term.
So speaking of that, Kyle, we have a count back from the, what was it, the February numbers of, did we receive a number back, count back, and then dollars associated with it, but we know what you're saying yet?
Yes. We're down 34 kids. I think 34 kids.
When was the last count? October, so we're down 34 from October?
Yes. Oh. Gonna pull down.
Were they on that many from October or from the beginning?
From October. I'm saying that, you got, everything we talk about, yeah, we gotta do, we wanna do, absolutely, we gotta live within the means. So what we're looking at now is, we'll start our staffing meetings this month, towards the end of the month in April, we'll start with our staffing meetings, and we'll look at, okay, we've got these people that are leaving, you know, what are our student ratios, look like, you know?
Can I ask you how you go?
That's okay, I'm good.
Feel free.
No, I know it's a joke.
I'm so sorry.
That's okay.
Do we do any type of exit interviews? Do we have the results of those interviews?
Yes, a lot of them are, it's varying reasons. Some of them are what you expect traditional one, their home. That's not his way. Some of them want freedom to be able to travel. And then you got some that are mad, they got in trouble, and I don't like the punishment. So that, there's really three pots, and it's almost every one of them, some variation of those three. A mad, I want freedom, or the old fashioned comes south. So,
And there's really no reporting mechanisms on schools or are there? Who is responsible for traveling now?
legally, I think you can say what freedom.
Right.
Yes,
Does,
they-
you know, either anybody track any?
They have to turn in, either they have to take a state assessment, or someone with a teaching certificate has to sign off that they've made a year's worth. So it's very loose.
But we're not responsible for policing that.
No, we're not. We just have to say, you gave your letter, or you showed up and took the test.
I don't, without getting too far in the weeds here. When we say 34 kids, have we had any return from homeschooling? Is it, what's the percentage there?
And others have left, so, you know, it's not.
So it's
so I would say
balancing out?
It really,
Okay,
honestly,
okay. Disregard that.
Well, 34 is like a net loss, is what you're saying, that have left. So we gained some, lost some. 34 is, we lost 34 more than we got, basically.
how, you know, about that, head safety, you get your child's FTE, it goes in the fountain, pay it, whatever. Probably 3 or 4 weeks ago, only 6 districts in the state have registered as a pet vendor. As of last week, 25% of the districts, okay, now I've got everything to do to get the starter registration process as a vendor. Some of the bigger counties are working on having pricing schedules for things. And so we don't want to be way off what other districts are doing. So I think, Walton's working on one, Hillsborough County is working on one, you know, different bigger districts, and then we probably will, honestly, everybody in Hayes is probably what Walton County does. But like if you participate in band or you participate in ag or, you know, whatever, we'll be able to charge those families a la carte instead of just saying, sure, come out. We don't give you money, but come anyway because we love you. And we do love you, but we, you know, if your child plays baseball, there's uniforms and there's umpires and there's coaches and there's fields, gas, insurance, all the things that go to that cost that we pay for out of that FTE. And we're not getting that. So, it was all very, very new. And
So this was really the first big year PT scholarships. So superintendents, we got, and our, these are why these had, and so forth, we get together, we start talking to them. Well, these kids are coming back, which they're allowed to do, and we're watching their uniforms, we're providing their school day insurance, they get hurt out there, they have an ACL thing, require surgery, guess who's paying it up? We don't. So can we charge the PT accounts for these items? So that's where we are all now as superintendents, as districts getting together and saying, what's an allowable thing to charge them for? What can we charge them for? To say, if you participate this, and it is, I think that was the best way of saying it, all a part kind of thing. You know, what you do, we charge a certain amount for these things, and then that gets paid us, so we're not losing 100% of it.
Well, my question to, maybe you can answer this, right.
I'm good.
Slides, So what is PAEC doing? Heck, does that say E?
Yes, ma'am.
Whatever, PAC, whatever. What is all these districts, now what, I don't think it's probably hurting them to lose $1 million.
They're down 1,000.
Everyone. So how are we coming together with these, especially these rural districts that are coming up? This equates, it was in the meetings, I 1.4, am I right now, it may be higher? Is that about right? What did we talk about? 1.4?
Total, we have just under 150 kids homeschool. We always have homeschool, but it is higher than it was. We have 2 years. It's the one, I would like to. I mean, it's gotten very popular. People want.
Well, I think it's more than social media. I know how we agree to disagree. I believe it's from social.
I mean, I'm the only person.
I think it's a peer, I think it's a peer thing to, your peers who you hang out with and associate with, but what are we doing as all these districts get together, these superintendents, and we're talking about it? What, is there a plan going forward? Are we gonna start marketing public schools or what are we doing?
Okay, so we've met as an instructional staff, we're gonna put a campaign together this spring to try to get them back. Walton is kind of the poster child for that. He said, Russ said, I'm going after these homes. Now, here's the things that we have positive for A district. I am very comfortable being A district against this next year. They're not leaving back then. They're not saying, the biggest thing that people could get arguments for leaving a school or even charter school rising up is you got D&M school, we don't have one, So it for whatever reason, we talk about the reason, but it's happened. So that's the thing, that's the stimulus, and we gotta respond to that. So we're gonna try to get to them, put some media stuff together ourselves, try to get them back. And say, look, we're offering some really good things here. We're one of 8 districts in the state for the last 5 years. 1 out of 8, out of 67. Come back. We want you back. We got to market that. So we got to take some time. And look, if you got 10 kids, great. You got 12 kids, great. You got 50 back, then it's even better. But we've got to make effort. We got to make effort. Now, here's the other thing: is our people that are on staff. If I'm very frank with you, people who leave and pull kids out to teach a micro school. That's happening. And so our policy we've addressed that in policy that if you leave, you leave. We're not trying to run you off. We want you to stay here. But if you're going to do that, we're not going to hold you spot for it. Okay. Now, if you're working on your master's degree, there's some criteria there. You got some kind of medical thing, but we need them here. I mean, and that's hurt us a lot is our own folks leaving and then taking students.
A question, and I think that's spot on as far as my thought. Could it be a benefit? I think everybody's swamped with everything to do. It seems like everybody's filling 8 roles and training new people, things like that. Could it be a benefit to say, hey, we need to go out and we need to have somebody contract labor, your contractor for us? Can we have a person literally one-on-one or call and contact every single one of the families that have left 150 students and say, we would really like to know exactly why you left and tell me how we can get you back. Right? It sounds like that's kind of a plan that you have. Because if it's freedom, maybe we can develop something. We'll say, hey, come 2 days a week. We can get you back full time. Come 2 days a week. Get you Mondays, Fridays off, and maybe we can develop some type of curriculum to help them come back. I realize the risk is maybe we'll lose more doing that, right? People like the freedom, but it seems that we can pinpoint. I think there are subcategories within those 3 categories. So if it's freedom to go on a long weekend somewhere, well, maybe we can keep them in the middle of the week, right? If they are mad, maybe there's a policy they don't like that. Well, if it needs to say that way, we won't change it. But if it's something that can be adjusted, maybe we can adjust the policy. Maybe, in other words, maybe we can fine tune how we'll operate to try to bring some of these people back. So So I say all that to say, would it be a benefit to say, hey, we're gonna hire somebody at X number of dollars an hour for the next 2 months, 3 months to collect that data for us? Maybe it's somebody that's a retired teacher or something like that, that is vested in it and wants to see it improve. Could that be a help? Or is that needed to have that position to be able to gather the data that you would need to have an effective marketing campaign?
Well, you know, you can, I'm weary about hiring anybody. You down at the, I'm trying not to hire.
You change 3 days a week, every school,
Every kid wants to say,
I'm going to school.
Or 3 days a week?
So here's the other thing too. Here's the other thing, or you got the governor, who I dearly have a lot of respect for. It's school choice, school choice, school choice. And, you know, it's almost do pretty much whatever you want to do. And I think probably fundamentally, we all agree, you know, we want parents to, we're not trying to take that away from parents. I wouldn't dare advocate. But, you know, it's really it's almost a dismantling of the public school system. And I love the public school. It's not perfect. It's just not. You know, but I think we made it as best, and we're in the right direction to try to make it as best as we possibly can. And we're fighting a new battle. Coach code that school is off, and that we got a little taste of doing it out. And again, we have that on this. This we do have. We have that on those who said, you know what, we're going to do it online. We're just going to do it exclusively online. We're going to do a hybrid. We're going to do, and we have that. Every school district in the country got that on that. And here's what we think, and I've shared this with y'all before. You just have a lot that didn't do it, and I do mean a lot. A huge majority didn't do it, and we would know when they were signing in, because we were running the online portion of that. And so you would know when they were not signing in, and then all of a sudden, you know, you make a call, hey, Billy Bob didn't, Eli didn't involve me in 2 weeks. Yeah, I know, I'm working, me and Mama's working. And you know what, that's exactly right, they are, they're working hard, and they're trying to do both. Now, there are some people that do homeschool, and they do it well. And I will applaud them, encourage them, if that's what they want to do, if they thought that's good for their family. Go for it. I'll be one of you big cheerleaders. But there are a lot that it sounds good on paper. It sounds like something you want to do, but when it comes down to actually doing it, it's a difficult thing. You know, or
I have one parent.
yeah, we think about it.
My neighbor said our kids get so much computer power that they.
And then you
And
have
your file needed paste, they're cheap.
a lot of virtual teachers get paid off for completion, but they really don't care if it's long.
They just want.
They get their $125 every kid.
So there's a lot of copy and pasting, a lot of Google searches, a lot of learning.
We had a kid in the high school did ingenuity, and I think they did biology. There was a couple courses they did in like 3 days. And Eric Willis said, you have not done this coursework in 3 days. Trust me. I mean, there's so many modules, but there's so much opportunity to cut and paste, and now you got ChatGPT and all these other things that will write paper for you. I don't know if y'all even know what that is yet. It'll blow your mind. I just tell you, it provides the content in there. Boo can go on there and say, write me a paper on Harriet Truman, why he was a good president, talk about his death, talk about his birth, his home place, and then write a whole essay. And it needs to be 500 words. 2,500 words. And hey, let me tell you how good Scott, and this blew my mind this week. You can do that with songs now. There's a song GPT, and a guy at the church where I was at last week in Arkansas, wrote a song, stuck mine and Hillary's name in it. We had a microphone that didn't work. He talked about, he put that in the little deal. Wrote probably the best country song I've ever heard in my life. And it was 3-part harmony with a guy that sounded like George Strait on AI. I will send that to y'all, and it'll blow your mind. That's what we're fighting. So AI is a big deal now in school districts. We're talking about how to utilize that for our benefit within school districts. It's changing daily. It's crazy, crazy, crazy. But, we can get that information while we're there. You know, we can find that out. We definitely got to go out.
Well, as far as me personally, I'm one five, if I believe in spending money to make it or earn it, if everybody's to their max, I mean, I'm one five that's happy to say, hey, we need to reallocate some dollars to try to get somebody in, something of that nature to try to figure out the exact reason in detail why people are leaving, see if there's a trend pattern, to try to help them back, if it can help, so. Or, I mean, well, no, never mind, I was gonna say volunteer hours, things like that, they need to speak to an adult, we need to talk to adults on this.
Well, and that may be something, or y'all could have some, we could give y'all 25 names apiece and say, if y'all call these 25, you know, we probably even. Just say, hey, I'm calling that board, you know? You're not calling them, they can bring. You're not changing them, you're just asking a question. You can ask a question, you're not changing them, you just say, look.
Trying to find out what we can do.
Well, that's the reason I said was their name. You know, see,
Right.
sometimes they don't want to talk to people, sometimes they will put it down on the paper.
That's right. My first, okay, so my first contact with them will be electronic, so they may.
Just do it, man, and you'll be all right.
Please, okay. No, that's all.
That's fine, we just talking about what you said, like our gas county line, you pick up a whole bunch of it, and now it's like, maybe that. Even our Allen County people.
Well, some of them have, they may not, some of them have been sent back too because they don't meet qualifications. They may come here and get in trouble, or may not attend regularly, or get mad.
This whole year's been down, but,
You know,
Leon County line's been down.
Yeah, everybody.
school choice helps us too, because you get school choice, especially as. I had to submit names for the reason why kids would go to TCP instead of Chipotle. What the rate was up to for, everybody calls for Gadsden County that direction. And it's a big chunk of kids who do live that direction. So I mean, it really does, if we were only taking just our kids, it would probably, we said everybody in high school had to come back and get rid of everybody from Gadsden, Leon County, we probably would be in the hole.
We need.
And those budget, you took like, I'm talking about, every one of them is county, every one of them. They're on their own, they're bidding difference or transportation.
All in favor, say aye. Any opposed? Zero. Consultant, in favor, board volunteer. The motion to approve first reading of Florida local policy update, volume 45, Jimmy has had a motion. Motion, Jerry, second. Same time discussion.
On this, real quick, Neola, they provide the services of policy updates. Is this not something where we can get steady policy changes? Do they hold a group back and dump 40 policy changes all at one time?
So they typically do 2 a year. That's why you see volume 25 number 1 or 2. They do 1 in the fall and then a big one in the spring. But in between, if there are special updates, I'll get those periodically as well. So I may get one in April, where something changes. They see that, based on legislation, we need to change this or technical change. They'll send it to me. So there are at least 2 big dumps every year, but there's always special updates.
Is that my contract that be adjusted, or is that a good thing, bad thing?
I mean, yeah, it's a good service. I mean, it's plenty for me.
Small drop at one time, so, and I'll try to be quicker, I've been long winded, I apologize. So it seems like when I read these 40 different policies that drop, it makes me think of a lot of things associated with policies, right? So if you had status policy adjustment information coming in, then maybe it could be beneficial when the board reads it and we say, hey, listen, what about this? Have we thought about this dynamic associated with this policy and have a conversation and see if there's a better way to do something?
Part of the reason for those big ones are it's all generated and proven on legislation, which happens, and then you gotta change. And then especially if you've seen the pendulum in, like politics and stuff like that. Yeah, for instance, we had, Title IX and all the things the federal government's trying to push out. I got an update for that, that's on federal changes. Well, then our governor said, oh, no, we're not doing that, and then he pushed back, so I get updates on those things as well. But I'm just saying, like, depending on what policies and things are changed, that could drive a bunch of changes, it could be a little. But then we get some special updates too, as well that happen based on maybe something was appealed in the court case, or they decided that this might be something the district won't do. Some of them are things they suggest. Some are things that are like based on Florida law, we need to do.
So they're gonna continue to have those two big drops, and that's gonna be it. They're not gonna break them out quarterly or anything like that. It'll always be the two big drops, that's just how it is.
Yeah, and then, if there's anything, it isn't like we don't, if it's something we need to have, like an urgent update or something, they would send me an announcement. At that point, it's just gonna wait, something that needs to be done quickly.
Nearly all of them legislation today is anyway. Coming in 5 years.
Okay. Right.
You could have a state board meeting say, that we're gonna stop this and do this, but we can start them.
And that was
tomorrow.
that was what they were.
Correct, and that's gonna go out to everybody, and then Neil will have, we'll implement it locally, and then they'll follow the policy and say, oh, yeah, we had this, and we'll have that board meeting.
But those things, those that you see number when it says like Florida policy volume 25, number 1, those are kind of those bigger guns. But then when you see, maybe that's not the right word to use. But I mean, those are the two normal ones. But if you see something that it says special update, those are something that is sent, they're a little more isolated, need to come before that. There's not a big one.
And thank you so much for getting that outline, because after going, that saved a lot of time.
So they send those every time?
They do?
Yes. So just never, so I can start sending those.
Perfect. That actually points out big substantial changes.
We'll send that with the agenda and all, yeah.
Perfect. And less is better, less policies, but they can start like we did here, let's start rolling some in, some other ones, oh my
That was,
goodness.
I noticed that was several stuff there.
Yeah, that was awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
All in favor, say aye. Opposed? Carried. Moving on, item B, the motion to approve first reading of district revision. Eddie has had a motion. Moore, second. Steve? Any discussion?
I have a discussion on this one. So this is specific to our district, and it looks like it's specific to a policy that Justin mentioned earlier, basically an unpaid leave of absence that puts somebody on leave for a year. And it's specifically addressing those that say want their spot, it looks like they want their spot held, and then they go out and teach somewhere else or teach at home school or something of that nature.
Yeah. So that will, basically, it's outlining you cannot ask for leave of absence to go seek employment for a salary somewhere else and expect us to hold and have board approve of leave of absence.
And to be specific, if it's a mom that has a child, leave of absence, she goes home, she's taking care of her babies, whatever, for a year, and others are like, hey, listen, can you watch my kids? She's gonna be paid, she's gonna have an employee, be a self-employed position. There's no problem with, like, say, the lady's doing something of that nature. In other words, is there clarity where you may want to find an opinion? I'm with you. We're not gonna hold your spot. You can work somewhere else, you know who you are, but, my personal thought is if you need to be home for a reason, a sick mom or dad or grandparent, you need to work on the side part-time, we're not impacting those individuals with this policy. Is that correct? I mean, I didn't see it specifically stated.
You got FMLA in there, and I mean, you're talking about 5 months, right?
Judy, what y'all got in there to teach?
We've had several people in the past.
I'm not happy with that. You know, if they take FMLA and teach them, then they violate the policy.
It's almost like it's not.
Well, it could, well, so we're basically saying teaching.
Salary.
It says salary.
Yeah, salary, outside the district for salary and then a labor advocacy, outside employment while accepting outside employment while on leave of absence may be subject to employee termination. And then district for salary, you're outside the district for salary, so it sounds like you're,
Discretion on that.
right.
Yeah. I think you have to use.
So is there,
The one size fits all.
so it's open, so the May, there's no outline of what parameters falls in May.
Well, I think give an example, like say, my mom stayed home and babysat kids when I was younger. She was getting checks, she was not getting a salary from someone with benefits. When we started school, she went back to work for courthouse. I mean, I don't. So. Always be.
There's always gonna be an exception. Okay, we have one more teacher, that staff, or children, you know, she said they are gonna be off for the next 9 months. You know, rearing a child, I think it's pretty good.
Do we have any type of committee? I know a lot of times it's up to the superintendent, but do we have any type of committee that looks at these leaves of absences or analyzes them, you know, like, and I do agree that when we create a hole with the LOA, we've got a hole there, you know, that position's gotta be filled. And they're out here making money or with another job, you know.
I think
Do we have any way to make, come together and let's start looking, I mean, we may not even know, when they sign up for leave of absence. Okay, if it's not FMLA, right? If they sign up for a leave of absence to go off and explore their whatever, and they're making money,
I don't know if you, that's specifically of those in the last 4 years, I can think of one that did not get another job. Probably 6. The rest of it was like, well, you don't want it to be like, I'm scared to leave, so I'm gonna try this, and you just hold it in case this doesn't work out.
right, that's exactly what I've seen in the last 5 years. So, is there a way?
The policy.
I know, but this one, I don't know.
They're just trying to tighten it up.
I'm with you on it, but I think we've got some questions. Do we need to table this?
Oh, I hope not.
Y'all, is it,
We did it in the return, we're trying to get staff in place.
okay,
So is there a way to put, I mean, some wordings for like a check mom scenario, or do we want to just keep it made? And.
Well, I think that gets, but I don't think, again, not to operate from the exception, but there's a bunch of exceptions to probably think about, and you know what I mean? Do we want to list all those, or just say,
no,
based on that, you can have some discretion? And obviously, if it's something that doesn't fit what we're talking about,
I think you put it in place, these modifications, you do it later, but under discretionary, which one it is, may be different for Jason than what it is.
I don't want to get us to get sued and then be sitting there saying, hey, well.
I'm gonna say, so too, that, again, like, if I'm gonna do it, that a revision, again, we talk about this individually, but we didn't make this up. These are exact wordings from other policies of driving districts.
Can I, if I can, there, Heather, are you on?
I have her muted right now, sorry.
Okay. Heather, are you on?
Yes, I'm here.
We're having a discussion, actually, for the last, agenda item about the leave of absence. I assume you've read this and Jeff said it is comparable to other districts around.
Standard, I mean,
Standard.
yeah, I can name, I pulled what districts, 3 similar districts around us have in their policy. But
Okay.
it's not like you're jumping outside the box.
Okay. So is there any heartburn with you, Heather, from a legal standpoint of choosing May in our, when it comes to leaving discretion on the table, and they take leave of absence and go get employed or employed from some other source?
So I don't really have a grave concern with the language. I agree with, that I think I don't know off the top of my head. Haven't looked at other surrounding counties if they have this exact language or something super similar, but I believe that is likely true because it's not off the wall. And like you said, they didn't make it up for sure. But my thought is that it's always a may, because, a termination only comes to you at the recommendation of the superintendent. And so it's always at the superintendent's discretion whether or not to bring a recommendation for any kind of employment action, but especially a termination. So I don't really have a problem with it being may. And I think otherwise you might be kind of putting a directive out there, and I'm always loath to create traps that you could fall into later if we put shall and then we don't do it this time, but then the next time we do, and someone might make the argument that we broke our own policy once and that it's some kind of sign of discrimination if we didn't this time, that kind of thing. So no matter what you do, obviously there are risks, but I don't have grave concerns over this language. One thing I thought of during your discussion was that perhaps, because it says accepting outside employment while on leave, to answer Mr. Keever's concerns, what if that said full-time outside employment or something like that? And I realize that you could still have a part-time job, but I'm thinking most of what I understand from the discussion is that we're talking about teachers or administrators who are trying to see if the grass is greener elsewhere. And that would be people who are trying to accept a full-time position elsewhere. So perhaps adding that phrase would, answer some of your concerns. I don't know, just a suggestion. And that's something you could, if the board were so inclined, you could go ahead now and say you want to add whatever you wanted to add and then advertise it that way, so that you don't have to table it and stop progress and not advertise if you're inclined to move forward. Now I can't hear you guys. Am I still there?
Yeah, we're here.
Yes, we're seeing.
Okay, okay.
Thank you so much.
Sure.
I'm good with employment. Because I think, in my opinion, to start speaking for me, if we build a box, we can't get out of the box.
Work 30 hours a week, so I'm not.
Right.
Good. What about that? Board member concern, Mr. Keever.
First of all, thank you all, everybody, Kevin Brawler, Fortune, and Sandy, man, conversations. Katie, thank you very much for all financials. I appreciate that. How do you think things look for us, man?
We're dive into it a little bit deeper after the numbers that come out, that the, use that so we'll be looking at that a little bit closer. I feel good kind of where you are, and do I think I'm gonna be okay? Yes, still, yes.
Okay. Yeah, thank you for this. I'm still gonna review it, probably talk to you if that's all right. Make sure I understand everything. I can't remember which one I mentioned too, maybe several of you. I had somebody come up to me and talk about maybe the state revenue sharing tax, racing tax, like gambling type deal that can come into the county because of a revenue surge. And how schools might be entitled to that. So I don't know if that's something that can be looked into or reviewed, but had a friend come up to me, former superintendent, and mentioned it to you. So just a thought on the revenue side, or if we get that or not, I'd like to talk to you about it today. Thank y'all for all you do. Kyle, I appreciate the time, calls, the board. Thank y'all. Ms. Lynn, you too. Thank you for letting me talk to you about all the stuff going on. I had two things, well, actually, I have a list of about 15 right here, but because I've taken up so much of everybody's time, I'll have to spare y'all with just two that are just, that have been on my mind. The first one, never thought about till it came up, lights at bus stops. I can't really get it off my mind. It seems like something for safety wise that could be a good idea. Kevin, you had my chance, I should have followed up with you before this. You haven't had my chance, had a chance to talk on the bus drivers, anybody like that, to see darkest spots or marked by light poles, can put a light on a light pole.
The problem is who's gonna pay for it?
Well, I'm one of five that's willing to put a $10 a month tab on a light, and maybe one of 10 locations, 10 of 10, 5 of 10, for $10 a month. So when kids get out of their parents' cars and go to walk on buses, it's pitch black dark in the morning. I'm on board with it personally, and that's why I'm bringing it up again, to kind of know if I need to be quiet and move on. And that's fine. I see the pros and cons absolutely to it. But I mean, when I'm driving on the road at 6:30 in the morning, I'm passing school buses and it's misty, it is jet black. I mean, it couldn't be any darker. It did, so, I mean, board, I can, again, I see maybe a reason for it, I see maybe a reason not. Is it something y'all wanna maybe look at, or y'all want me to kind of step away and us, maybe talk together or something?
I think you need to know how big of a problem it is. I mean,
It's a big problem. There's like 30 stops per bus. That's 300 stops.
you got kids standing by the road, kids stepping out of the house and getting on the bus. You know what I mean? That's different. You got 4 or 5 kids standing in a spot on the corner.
I guess
In the black dark.
Well, I get trenching, so
I'm gonna go back to what I said, even before you know, and some of the other board members said it, and I said it Mr. Petty numerous times. If it's that big of a concern, we still got to put responsibility on the parents. If it's a problem, then they need to sit there with them. And that happens a lot. You ride the bus in the morning, you'll see it. You know, I mean, transportation goes up every year. So, I mean,
So you think there's that, I mean, you think there's 300 stops where kids are collecting?
I'm just saying there's 10 buses, so if you do for one, you gotta do for all.
300 stops, but they're not.
Yeah.
So you're talking about stop at individual drives compared to stop of a meetup point where,
We do door to door most of the time.
Okay.
There's a few spots
You
that are
got
not.
30 spots where there's, oh,
If we can't turn down around the road, we got several, you know, comes out. Because, well, it's everywhere, all in the district.
I know every stop, but can you identify the dark spots?
I think what they're talking about, Kevin, is like at, say, Marriott Road, where you got maybe another 10 or 20.
right?
There's a river, you know, where you got, well, I think what they're not,
First road, for instance, ain't fire. My road.
you have to notify.
Well, I mean, so from perspective, if there's not a pole, there's not a power pole, there ain't a line.
I mean, I understand what you're saying, that's good too. And the light department is not, I'm begging for lights. Not just, the one right here for a bus driver, we haven't paid that in a month. I mean, but I'll tell you, every one of them's dark.
I mean,
it's not like somebody from here.
right.
Well, no, I mean, most of them, they can still be dark in the front yard.
Well, I mean, it could be, I got 100 yards on the driveway. That's my problem. You know what I mean?
That's what I was getting back to.
That's not your problem.
So let me tell you, the ones that y'all talking about, I say 99% of the parents are sitting there starting.
You're getting bigger.
Yes. The only one that's not sitting there at a stop is in the front of the house. I would say 99%.
At least some parents are there with us. maybe not everywhere.
Like, that's 10 line, 10 cars sitting there, you know, 10 foot there.
Where the road,
Yeah.
where the road.
Any road that come out, there's parents there. But I'll move on to that next meeting.
Have you had a complaint or is that just not?
No, just something.
I get dark or bus.
That's that, well, I tend to follow buses coming into and out of Bristol in the morning, Bristol in the morning, and I just noticed how pitch black dark it is. When you got that, it's just on my mind, that's it. So I don't, if I'm thinking on something, think about it, I figure out how to split it. If it's something that we can do, maybe we should, if it's something that just doesn't seem reasonable, then, it's an opportunity cost. You know, we're gonna give up something to do that. Should we give up something to do that? That's the question. I don't know. But one other thing, I'll leave the light thing alone. So something I've noticed and something that's been on my mind for years, and this is personal, is the top of the bleachers at the football field on the home and visitor side. There is no chain link around gaps or about 2 feet apart from the rails. So I think I understand that we can pass certain inspections, but the thing is, should we leave it open where a kid can fall out of it? Well, you may say, what kid might fall out of it? When I was watching my brother Logan play football one night, I fell off the bleachers and landed on my black back from about 15 foot up and broke my arm, right? So it was not a good night. So I say, I have not been to an athletic facility that I can think of where if you're 20 plus feet off the ground, you don't have a chain link fence on the back of the bleachers where somebody wouldn't be able to, or would be able to fall off if there was no fence. So before football season comes up and graduation, and we have hundreds of people maybe in bleachers and youngins that can fall off the back or side bleachers from 10, 15, I don't know how many, is it 20 feet off the ground, 15, 18, 20 feet? It seems reasonable, like it could be a good idea to put fencing up on the back of the bleachers on both sides. Just for safety sake, keep somebody from falling off of it. Just a thought, I'd be interested in 1.5 to know what the price for doing something like that would be. If we got any fence left that we can do something where we can ensure a little more safety on those bleachers. That's exactly right. That's exactly. Parents up there talking, the little youngins kind of walking around and not paying attention. So just my thoughts. I'd be interested to know, if you don't mind, maybe to get a price on that, you know, what file or how that goes as far as, thought of others, but I'd be interested to know just for safety.
We have some.
When you do it now, if we got 6 fish, you don't have 3 or 4. So that.
Yeah, bottom, the top of the rail,
Don't need a lot of. Yeah, we're gonna need a lot of rolling there. And the third,
for like, what do you think?
for the home side of the rail.
Yeah.
I don't have that up to the business side. It's giving the lane up with that. It's all board.
Correct. More than one relation back up. Yeah, problem. Anyway, that's it. Thank y'all for putting up with me. Love y'all.
You're good. Just, I'm asked. To say, thank everybody for the job you do, thank you for taking that role on down there, thank you for Steve for doing all the work you do. Wish everybody a safe and happy spring break. Jason?
Thank y'all for all the hard work y'all do. Get that go right there. Kevin, when you find out about cost, are you going let us know on the no?
Oh,
Softball.
yes.
You gonna get it. You'll get it tonight probably. You gonna just let Mr. Petty know and he let us know.
I can email all that.
Let us.
We just don't, you know, we're gonna end up, we said we wasn't bidding it out, and then we're gonna go, hey, I need to get, I would know what to send you. Yeah, we have to bid it out, I'm gonna hurt his, you know.
I was just curious about that. That's not what I got. We might have to say, spring break. Not everybody, y'all know y'all work maybe one of y'all work, maybe all y'all. I think, man, enjoying yourself, it's gonna be here when you get back. Yeah. Maybe gonna set in 5 hours a week, down at the front of the office. Told me that earlier. She enjoyed it thoroughly. Yeah, go on. Anyway, thank y'all. Appreciate it. Everybody be safe and spring break, back. Hopefully, we get some more students, 34 back. Not we got to start hard on next year. Going in, we got to get that G numbers up for. We're going to be buying on buses, or we walk, if they don't want to do that. Thank you, James, for showing up today. Everybody give James a hand. Y'all go out talk a lot.
Thursday, closing comments, down here, fourth, motion adjourned. Ready, second? Steve? Second, now, meeting now.